All right, so now we're going to do a couple of things just to cool everything down. And the first one I like to go to is a deep yoga squat. So I want you to bring your feet wider than your hips and turn your toes out. Okay. Now go slow with this. But what we're going to do is we're going to start to sink ourselves down into a squat. And we'll start with our forearms on top of the thighs and just hanging out. So for some of you, this might be plenty of stretch. Now here's the secret though. I don't want you just pushing your legs out as you do this. In fact, I want you squeezing your legs into your arms and your arms pushing back and find an equilibrium, find a balanced spot. All right, so that's going to engage these muscles a little bit more, and that's really what we want. Now, some of you can start to lower down a little bit deeper. Maybe you stop here. Again, there's no destination you have to go to. All right, but eventually, if you can slide your triceps on the insides of your knees for like this full yoga squat or almost like a catcher in baseball. Same thing though. I'm pushing with my arms into my legs as my legs are squeezing into my arms. And so even though that's active, my face is relaxed. It's focused on my breath. You can have your hands together like this if you want. If you prefer, like a fist into a palm, and a switch halfway through. And same thing, think about pulling that head up out of the shoulders and shoulders back. A lot of time we go forward. Now, if your heels come up off the ground, that's normal. You can go a little bit wider, okay? Or you can just keep working on this and eventually the heels will get down. 2 more deep breaths here. Yoga squat. And then place your hands behind you. Go ahead and sit on down. Stretch your legs out. Shake them out. In fact, let's do a seated forward fold. Okay. Again, you might want to have a strap or a towel. Toes pulled back towards your face. I'm going to show you what it's like with the strap. I take it nice and long. Pull my shoulders back. Really long spine here, and then forward fold. And maybe if you don't need it, you can grab on to the pinky edges of the feet. But again, think about this idea of inhaling, coming out, turtle head out of the shell, long in the spine. When the exhale comes, round it in, let gravity do its thing. So at this point in your workout, deep breathing is going to really help your heart rate to slow down. And this is one of the awesome things about deep breathing in general, but also as it pertains to a yoga practice. Your ability to get your heart rate back to resting is so important for overall health. And we can release that. Okay, now this next one, bit of a twist. So I'm going to mirror you. So this is my left leg, but it's your right leg. So your right leg straight out. Your left leg is going to bend and it's going to come on the outside of this right knee. All right. So we're setting up a twist. Now there's 2 different versions I'm going to give to you. In this first version, your right leg can stay straight and we're going to twist towards this lifted knee. Okay. The other version that you can do is take this bottom leg and bend it back. Now you're not sitting on it, but you've got this thing happening. All right. Now in both, whatever variation you take with this bottom leg, everything else is the same. So when you twist, whichever knee is lifted up, that's the side we're going to twist to. All right. So our left arm is going to come behind us. The right arm is going to wrap in front. Now we can also hook the elbow outside of the knee. But the big thing is when we inhale, we want to lift up and get tall through the spine, like really accentuate that. And on the exhale, the belly pulls in, we squeeze the breath out, and that's where the twist comes from. Now, when I wrap my arm around the front like this, I actually get a nice little hip stretch. So I kind of prefer this one. Okay. Now, if you were able to easily bend this bottom leg back, then probably you're going to go what's called cow facing pose. It's a weird name, I know, but let me show you how you get into it. You're going to take this top knee and you're going to start to walk this foot out. Now, for me, this is really hard. So just demonstrating this, I have to kind of wiggle myself in. So I'm going to lift my hips up and I'm going to stack this left knee so it's totally on top of the right knee. And then I'm going to sit down with my feet out. And this is why they call it cow face, because it's like this is the nose of the cow. This opening right here is its mouth. And then this is the bottom knee is its chin. And then your feet are its ears. So that's the logic there. Okay, now that might have been way too difficult. If you got tight hips, tight hamstrings, you're like, no way, JB, that ain't happening. All right, so the other option is to take your ankle and stack it on top of your knee, and your other knee is going to be placed right above your other ankle. Okay, so my lower legs are stacked one on top of the other. They're not angled back like they would be in like crisscross applesauce. So they're stacked on top of each other, and that's probably enough. You might have this knee way up here. That's totally cool. So, and this is called like fire log pose, like two fire logs stacked on top of each other. And this, of course, is called cow face pose. Okay, now, a bit of a hip stretch for most people here. Again, it's going to find you wherever it's going to find you. The second part of this is actually the shoulder stretch in the Fitnessgram, where you are going to take one arm underneath and behind and the other arm up and try to grab on. I'll turn around and show you from behind. Reach this up and around, and you can see I cannot reach. So you can grab your shirt, or what's even better is if you had something you were using earlier, take it in your top hand, reach it, and then you want to try to walk your hands as close as you can together for this. Okay, so that's the arm variation. There's a lot happening in this last pose. And yes, this is the last pose. So I'm going to take the fire log variation. You take maybe the cow face, whatever you want. You take one arm up, one arm back. You can grab onto your hands, great. Push your head back into your forearm. And then you're going to slowly start to tilt yourself forward. Again, a lot happening here. Hips, shoulders, maybe even your triceps. So can you back off to a place that you can manage? Can you deepen your breath? And with your next exhale, maybe just creep in a little bit further. And again, if this knee's way up here and you're struggling, like, hey, just be with that. Balance there. Maybe try to descend that knee a little bit. So you don't have to forward fold here if you're extremely tight in your hips. But let's be here for 3 more deep breaths. I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes or have your eyelids be soft and really, again, refocus on the internal. Now, if you want to linger there while we set this next setup, if you're really digging where you're at, that's fine. But we're going to start to move into this next side here. So now the left leg is straight out. The right leg comes in and it steps to the outside of the knee. Again, this might be your spot. You might have a strap here. Actually, you don't need a strap. Sorry, we're twisting. The bottom leg can cruise underneath. I wanted to go back to that seated one-legged forward fold. And we'll lift up and then wrap and twist. And again, this bottom leg, this left leg can stay straight. If you feel like when you come into this, if your butt cheek, you'll be your right butt cheek on this side, if it's way up off the ground, that's a really good indication that you need this left leg straight. Okay? Listen to your body. Don't force into it. Don't try to be like somebody else. Do you. Everybody else is taken, you know? 2 more breaths here. Really working the exhale to deepen the twist, cooling things down, twisting it out. You can almost think you're like a sponge right now, and you're just squeezing out all that dirty water, the stuff that you don't need anymore, just kind of getting rid of it, not only from your body, but your mind too. Just like, and then unravel. Now, you're probably going to choose the same position you chose on the first side. And again, cow face pose is where we stack the knees one on top of the other and we sit back. Again, if one butt cheek is way off the ground and the other one is like super on the ground, that's an indication that you're like, you might not be ready for this yet. And that's okay. It does not matter. I know plenty of people who can do that position, but they're not very nice to people. So it doesn't really matter too much if you can do that position and you don't know how to treat yourself with kindness or others with kindness. That's my philosophy anyway. So the other one you can take is the fire log position, or sometimes this is called double pigeon pose. And again, one knee can be up. Now, whatever arm you had up on the first side, you're going to take the other arm up for the second side. And you're going to hook your hands or grab onto your strap or grab onto your shirt and then lean your head back, get up nice and tall here. And maybe this is enough. Maybe it's just like, whoa, dude, what is happening right now? Find your breath. And if you want more, you know where to find it by forward folding down a little bit deeper. When your inhale comes, you can back off a little bit. When the exhale comes, maybe you entertain exploring sensation a bit more. And I really recommend you close your eyes here for these last 2 or 3 breaths. Focus all of your energy on the depth of that inhale, on the length of that exhale. It's not that other things don't matter in your life, but other things don't matter right now in this moment. So give yourself this space, give yourself this opportunity to learn more about how you handle discomfort. Appreciate this opportunity that you're opening your body a little bit more. And you're maybe calming your mind to a place where those things that do need tending to in your life, those responsibilities, those obligations, whatever they might be, you'll be more equipped to deal with them with a new perspective, with calmness, with focus. Now, to end, we're going to come onto our backs, extend ourselves all the way out, and just sense and feel for a moment of anything that might have shifted. Maybe it's in our body, maybe it's in our mind, maybe it's even in our heart. There's no expectation for a shift, but it's helpful just to kind of pay attention to see if and how we might feel different. You don't need to control your breathing anymore. Just let it happen naturally. Close your eyes. And as you lay here, there might be a tendency for your mind to sort of activate again. So it might be helpful when that happens just to, like, when you inhale, say to yourself, let. And as you exhale, say to yourself, go. Again, this is your time creating space and restoring so you can be strong and focused enough to deal with those things that might be racing around in your brain. But right now, there's nothing you can do about it. Let go. You're welcome to stay here for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you can just let the video run out. But I would encourage you at some point before you get up just to spend a moment and thank yourself. Thank yourself for not letting the external world creep in to your internal experience. Thank yourself for taking time and the effort to get to know yourself a little bit better from the inside. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stay with it. And again, feel free to keep chilling a little bit longer and notice as your day goes if there's been any effect. Have a great day.